All right, welcome back to Reflections, everyone, where we talk about all things Church of Christ with the Elijah message. It is wonderful to be back with you, spending this time together. So we've been looking at the vision, this visionary experience by the prophet Joseph Smith and Sidney Rigdon, which is section 76 in the Doctrine and Covenants. And we've been looking at, from a Latter-day Saint perspective, most people go to heaven. I want to spend some time going over this vision. So let's go to section 76 in the Doctrine and Covenants. When we begin in paragraph 5, now we're going to be skipping around. And again we bear record, for we saw and heard. And this is the testimony of the gospel of Christ, concerning them who come forth in the resurrection of the just. They are they who received the testimony of Jesus, and believed on his name, and were baptized after the manner of his burial, being buried in the water in his name, and this according to the commandment which he has given, that by keeping the commandments they might be washed and cleansed from all their sins, and receive the Holy Spirit by the laying on of hands of him who is ordained and sealed unto this power, and who overcome by faith are sealed by the Holy Spirit of promise, which the Father sheds forth upon all those who are just and true. They are they who are the church of the firstborn. These are they who are just made perfect through Jesus, the mediator of the new covenant, who wrought out this perfect atonement through the shedding of his own blood. These are they whose bodies are celestial, whose glory is that of the Son, even the glory of God, the highest of all, whose glory the Son of the firmament is written as a being typical. So this is the celestial glory. These are people who have been baptized by those who have the restored priesthood. So let's go to paragraph 6. And again we saw the terrestrial world, and behold, and lo. These are they who are of the terrestrial, whose glory differs from that of the church of the firstborn, who have received the fullness of the Father, even as that of the moon differs from the sun and the firmament. Behold, these are they who died without law, and also they who are the spirits of men kept in prison, whom the Son visited, and preached the gospel unto them, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, who received not the testimony of Jesus in the flesh, but afterwards received it. That's an interesting point right there. In the Latter-day Saint perspective, very different from Roman Catholicism and in the Protestant tradition, when Jesus is crucified and he's in the earth for 3 days, he doesn't go to hell. He goes to what we call spirit prison. These are people who do not inherit paradise, who are people who had the testimony of the law of Moses before Jesus came. And then also those people after Jesus, which we're going to read about. These are they who are honorable men of the earth, who are blinded by the craftiness of men. These are they who received of his glory, but not his fullness. These are they who received the presence of the Son, but not the fullness of the Father. Wherefore they have bodies terrestrial, and not bodies celestial, and differ in glory as the moon differs from the sun. These are they who are not valiant in the testimony of Jesus. Wherefore they obtain not the crown over the kingdom of our God. And how this in the vision, we saw the terrestrial, that the Lord commanded us to write while we are yet in the Spirit. So the terrestrial would be people who are of non-restoration Christian traditions, people of other faiths, people of good hearts who are not particularly religious. They have a part in heaven. So let's go to paragraph 7. And again, we saw the glory of the celestial, which glory is that of the lesser, even as the glory of the stars differ from that of the glory of the moon in the firmament. These are they who receive not the gospel of Christ, neither the testimony of Jesus. These are they who deny not the Holy Spirit, so these are not the sons of perdition. These are they who are thrust down to hell. These are they who shall be redeemed from the devil until the last resurrection, until the Lord, even the Christ, the Lamb, shall have finished his work. So these people don't inherit heaven until after the final judgment, after the millennial reign of Jesus. These are they who receive not of his fullness in the eternal world, but of the Holy Spirit through the ministration of the terrestrial, and the terrestrial through the ministration of the celestial. And also the celestial received it of the ministration of angels, who are appointed to minister for them, who are appointed to be ministering spirits for them, for they shall be heirs of salvation. And thus we saw in the heavenly vision the glory of the celestial, which surpasses all understanding. And no man knows it except him to whom God has revealed it. And thus we saw the glory of the terrestrial, which excels in all things the glory of the celestial, even in the glory and power and might and dominion. Jumping a little bit. These are they who are liars and sorcerers and adulterers and whoremongers, and whosoever loves and makes a lie. But behold, and lo, we saw the glory in the inhabitants of the celestial world, that they were as innumerable as the stars in the firmament of heaven, or as the sand upon the seashore, and heard the voice of the Lord saying, These all shall bow the knee, and every tongue shall confess to him who sits upon the throne forever and ever. For they shall be judged according to their works, and every man shall receive according to his own works, and his own dominion in the mansions which are prepared. And they shall be servants of the Most High. But when God and Christ dwell, they cannot come. Worlds without end. There's an interesting idea about what does it mean to shine in heaven. Is this a reality? Is this a shining aura about you that is visible, that people can see? Is it metaphorical? The way that we think about people that shine, because they're so beautiful on the inside that on the outside they radiate? Is it something like that? And I also want to mention that the sons of perdition, the people who committed the unpardonable sin. Let's go in like paragraph 4 in section 76 here. And that through him all might be saved. So all saved through Jesus, whom the Father had put into his power and made by him, who glorifies the Father and saves all the works of his hands, except those sons of perdition who deny the Son after the Father has revealed him. And so these are the people who don't inherit a kingdom. What they inherit is called outer darkness, complete separation from God, because they have themselves separated themselves from God. It's an interesting read, interesting ideas. My brothers and sisters, it's been wonderful spending this time with you, thinking about these things, reflecting on them. And until next time, I invite you into the Elijah Message House.